this video, I'm going to talk about why your story is important. Business, you often hear, especially in this day and age, everyone is talking about story, your story, how you got here, and so on and so forth. And I'm going to dissect just 3 reasons why I feel that you need to be sharing your story as far as growing your business or even sharing your message is concerned. Because it is imperative that people know how you got here, because you didn't just all of a sudden become a business owner or all of a sudden become a successful person. And the thing that will link you from where you are to where you were to where you are now is what is called your story. Now, number 1 reason is that the story would connect you with people in a unique way. Now, in terms of you being able to actually connect with people is key to whatever you are doing, whatever story you are sharing, whatever influence you are shooting for as far as growing your business is concerned. In terms of getting people or connecting with people, even your audience. So those people who are your followers are your audience. And indeed, most of the time, your audience are where you were, maybe some months ago, a year ago, or even years or decades ago. So you need to go back to that point and then actually get people to understand that you didn't magically appear to where you are now, being successful or being in a position to be able to serve them the way you are now serving them. So how would they know that you were once them? Because when you get to that point of actually sharing that step-by-step journey of yourself, it gives people power. It gives people the hope and the can-do spirit for them to look at you and think, wow, if this person was able to do it, so can I. Sometimes, yes, every individual is different and their journey into where they will be would be different, but at least you give them hope. And that is why it kind of connects them in a unique way with you. Number 2 is it makes you believable. Now, in terms of believability, it's important, especially in this day and age, in the online space. You often hear about scams and all those kind of things. Getting to believe somebody is quite key, because 1, you don't want to be following someone who really is not the person that you actually want to follow, but for the fact that they are in this facade and showing off XYZ. And then for that reason, if you're following them for that reason, obviously you need to be thinking twice. It depends on what your morals and your vision and your values are. So when you share your story, it makes you believable in the sense that the person can now connect the dots. So, for example, I follow a lot of people online. It can be people who are in the marketing space, people who are in personal development space, people who are starting businesses for that matter. It is imperative that, it's most of the time, their stories makes them believable to me. And for that reason, that is usually the reason why I will follow this person. For example, when I met Caroline Marsh, the Secret Millionaire, on TV, I didn't meet her. I saw her on TV, and she so inspired me to rise up from my couch and to think about starting this journey. The only reason why I made her believable, or that made me actually endeared to her, was when I read her story on her website, because by reading that story, I then got to know that, wow, if she is, came from Africa like myself, and she's been able to kind of liberate herself from these financial difficulties that most of us migrants in the UK and in other parts of the world are struggling with, chances are I would stand the possibility of also being able to liberate myself. So yes, and for that reason, I see her as a role model, and indeed as someone who has paved the way, or who has made this journey believable for me, to know that actually others have done it, and indeed that gives me the surety that I will also be able to get there. In fact, there is a story about Roger Bannister in the 1940s or 50s. He was the first person who ran the 4-minute mile. So, for example, it used to be deemed impossible for someone to run a mile in 4 minutes. And when Roger did it, because scientists had actually proved at that point that anybody who did it would actually die, because the body wasn't built for that. So he did it, and even at the time of finish, when he passed out, people really pronounced him dead. Until he recovered from that shock, and indeed within months other people were able to do it. So your story is that kind of a thing that would get people to know that, wow, if you have been able to do it, regardless of the difficulties and the challenges, indeed they can do it if they choose to. Then last but not the least is that it positions you in your unique solution to their problem. Now, with every business exists to solve someone's problem. In fact, if your business is not solving a problem, then I don't know what kind of business that you are out there servicing people with, or serving people with. Every business is there to solve someone's problem, and how you would uniquely position yourself with what you kind of offer to the marketplace or in the marketplace is quite important. The story gives that the authority and the stamp point to which you can actually tell people that, you know what, I have gone from A to B to C and so on until now I am in Z. And so you are kind of giving them the roadmap with the story. And once you say your story or talk about your story, and then to tie in with, and for this time and for that reason, that is why I'm here, I feel that I'm in a position to save you, because I know that you are where I was, not so long ago, or whatever time it is. So your story kind of help you position yourself in a unique way in the marketplace, because nobody can share the same story with you. Even if you were twins and you went through the same journey, you would still have differences and nuances as far as telling the story is concerned. So that is why it is important that you share your story. In fact, overall, it is said that facts tell, but story sells. And indeed, nobody wants to be sold. People want to buy, as the saying goes, but they don't want to be sold. But when you share your story, people will buy into you. And the only way that people can buy your product or your service is when they buy into you, when they believe you, that you are the one that can support them, that can help them to be able to solve that problem. So those are the three areas that I believe that your story matter as far as your business is concerned, as far as the message that you are out there to share with people is concerned. Number one is the fact that story connects with you and your audience powerfully, because then they can identify with you. The story also makes you believable in terms of what you're sharing, that you didn't just land from Mars with this success, and whatever success means to them. And then the third one is the fact that the story will position you in a unique way in the marketplace. So those are the three things. If you love this video, please share it, thumbs up. And if you are on YouTube, subscribe to my channel, because I'm growing the channel. And indeed, I can't wait to come your way once again. Take care. My name is Beatrice Yakubu, founder of Simply Family Business. Bye.